Hello guys, today I am with you for a new topic. The new topic is Draw Toolbar. So this is the Draw Toolbar of AutoCAD software, and here this one is Modify Toolbar, and many more toolbar we can find in AutoCAD software. When we right click in any tool, so we can see that. So this one we can find any tool whatever you want. So at this time we are talking about Draw Toolbar. So this is the Draw Toolbar. Now the first thing is how to bring shortcut keys in AutoCAD software. For bring shortcut keys in AutoCAD software, we will click here from drop down menu. We can say that here we have customize, and we can see we have edit program parameters. In this edit program parameters we have shortcut keys of AutoCAD. So whenever guys you need shortcut keys of AutoCAD, you don't need to search from anywhere. You will find all the shortcut keys of AutoCAD from customize. Okay, now we are talking about line command. So here we have option for line command. We click here, and suppose I want to start from this point, so we just click here, and now we see that ortho is off. So let's check this command ortho. Yes, now we see that we are able to draw a straight line. Okay, suppose I am taking a line, the length of line should be 50. So press 50, press enter. As we press 50 and enter, so that this line has broken at this specific position. Okay, now I'm saying that width should be 20. So this is 20. After 20 it has been broken. Now one problem is occurring during this one, that I'm not able to zoom in and zoom out this drawing in a proper way. What is the exact reason for this? That's very good that we have got this problem during this session. Okay, whenever such types of problem comes with you, you just set drawing limits. First let's see. Yes, I have set drawing unit. Maybe I did not set drawing limits. This is a specify lower left corner. So lower left corner is 0, 0. Enter. Now we see that a specify upper right corner. That means I did not set upper right corner. So let's set upper right corner. I'm saying that it should be 500, 500. Yes, so this is upper right corner. Now press Z, enter. Z for zoom, A enter, A for all. Yes. Now we see that when we set this drawing limit, so our drawing, whatever I was starting to draw, so we see that this line is here. We have two lines. Now I was talking about line command. So click here. Now again I'm going to connect from this point. So click here. We see, okay, like this. Either you just drag your cursor and pick point, it will break, or you can put a specific value. Okay, so this is how to use a line command, like this. Okay, so what we have learned, we learned that we can do as per our requirement. Suppose I want to draw from this point, so we just pick the point, move the cursor, put value, a specific value whatever you want, and then press enter, and after that you move cursor up or down where you want. Suppose I want to draw in upward direction, move cursor in upward. Now it should be 20, press enter. Now here it should be suppose 50. Yes. Now suppose I want to connect this one, so right click, you can connect from here. You have option that is close. So this is how to use line command. Next option we have construction line. So construction line is an infinite line. There is no any starting point and end point of construction line. We can see, suppose I have a horizontal and vertical construction line. Okay, we can see as much as I will zoom in or zoom out, we can see there is no any starting and end point. So this is the line which one is infinite. So generally means most of time we don't use this tool, but there are many times we use this tool, construction line. So generally civil engineers who want to make plan as per the requirement, they use to initiate their plan from here. They just trim this one side. Okay, and now we will start to make our plan. from a specific corner. So this is the use of construction line. Now we have next option, this is polyline. So polyline is the combination of line, arc, radius, second point, width and many more options. How to use we see. Select polyline. First pick this point. Okay, suppose I want to start from this point. We see what should be length. I'm saying that it should be 300. Press enter. Yes. After complete this 300 dimension, it has broken. Now we move in upward direction. Suppose it should be 100. Yes. After 100, same thing is here. Now suppose I want to draw arc. So don't need to select this arc command. Directly we right click. As we press right click from polyline, so you will find the option arc. Okay. Now what radius you want? I'm saying that radius should be 100. Yes, that means diameter is 200. Yes. Suppose now I want to use arc, but this time I don't want to use a radius. I want to specify second point. So right click, there is option second point. Where should be second point? I'm saying that somewhere here should be second point. Yes, like this. Okay. Now I want to use line command. So right click, there is option for line command. Okay. Now I want to connect this one from this point to this point. So right click, there is option for arc. Where you want to connect? Here. Now we want to exit from this one. So just right click, press enter button. See, we exit from command. So as I'm selecting any portion of this polyline, so automatically each and every entities are selecting. But if you will do the same thing from line command, so you see we don't have that much features. Right click, we have only two options, either go back or close. So I'm going to close this one. Now we see that each and every entities, these are individual. Okay, in line command, but as we use polyline, so we see. So this is basic difference between line and polyline. Next option is polygon. With the help of polygon, we can make any triangle, square, hexagon, pentagon, septagon, octagon, whatever you want. Suppose I want to draw some hexagon, pentagon, septagon. So first we use polygon. Click here. As we click this one, we see in command bar, polygon, enter number of sides. What you want? You want to draw hexagon, octagon, septagon. Let's start from triangle. So how many numbers of sides in equilateral triangle? I'm saying that there are 3. In any triangle there are 3 sides or 3 corners, but I'm talking about length. Okay, now 3. Yes. Now specify center. So you can say that somewhere here this is center. Okay. As we press as we specify center, we have two options: inscribed in circle or circumscribed about circle. I want to use one of them, but for these two options we need a circle, but there is no any circle, so we will do that in next profile. So let's pass this one through, enter button. Now specify radius. So radius what should be? It should be 100. Yes. See, we have triangle, equilateral triangle. Now I'm using a square. Click here. How many sides? 4. Enter. Specify center. Now what we want? Again we are going to pass. What should be the radius? I'm saying that 100. Yes. Triangle, square. Now I'm using circumscribed or inscribed option. For this we need a circle. I'm going to draw a circle. The radius of circle should be 100. Click here. How many number of sides I want to use? I want to draw pentagon. How many numbers of sides? 5. Enter. Specify center. So this is the center of pentagon. Now we have option inscribed in circle or circumscribed about circle. So I want to draw this one inside this one. So whenever you have to make any polygon profile, so inside this circle, so we will select this one, inscribed in circle. Yes. What was the radius? 100. We see. Suppose hexagon. So radius of the circle, suppose 120. Yes. Now select polygon. What should? Hexagon. Number of side will be 6. Now I'm going to select the center as the center of the circle here. Now we want to draw hexagon, and that should be circumscribed over circle, means outside circumference of the circle. Select this one. Yes. What was the radius? 120. So this is how to use polygon. We have next option, this is a rectangle. So click here. As we select this option, we have some options. We see that chamfer, fillet, thickness, elevation, width. We will find all these options when we press right click from here. So generally we don't use elevation, thickness and width, but the most important and most useful options of rectangle is chamfer and fillet. Let's talk about chamfer. Yes. Specify chamfer distance. So whenever we will define chamfer, so that we have to define 2 dimension. Okay. So suppose I'm saying that first dimension should be 20, second dimension should be 20. Okay. Now select here. See, we used area selection method. In this method, okay, what was the chamfer? Chamfer, which one we call that this is chamfer? Suppose I'm going to draw this one like this. We see when we have such types of sharp corner, okay, so this sharp corner is generally removed, okay, so that the useful tool to remove this sharp corner is called chamfer. So when we draw some such types of profile on the diagram or on a specific drawing, so this is called chamfer. In this one we define 2 dimension. This is the first dimension, this one is second dimension, or this one is first dimension, this one is second dimension. You can define one of them. Which one you want to define first, it will depend upon the user who is using. So when such types of profile we will find, this is called chamfer. We'll talk about chamfer and fillet. There is individual options. There are individual command in AutoCAD for chamfer and fillet. We can see here fillet, chamfer, and we'll talk about toolbar so that we can see that we have chamfer and here we have fillet. So this is chamfer. Now again select here, right click, there is option with fillet. So what should be the fillet radius? I'm saying that 30. Press 30, press first point, second point. You see we have some arc. When we use chamfer, that time we had to define distance, first distance and second dimension. But when we use fillet, so that we have to define fillet radius. So it will form like such types of arc. Now we'll talk about how to define. In the previous rectangle, whatever we had drawn, we did not define what is the dimension of the rectangle, but we have to define the dimension of the rectangle. So that click here, pick the point and right click. There is option for dimension. I'm saying that length should be 200. Enter. Now we see specify width. I'm saying that 100. So now we have rectangle which length is 200 and width is 100. Okay. Now we see as many times as I'm using to draw this rectangle, so by default arc formation is going on in the corner of the rectangle. So how to remove that? Suppose now we don't need such types of fillet radius in these corners. So what we do? We just select rectangle, okay, and now right click, there is option fillet. We'll define this one 0 degree. Yes. Now we can see. Yes. Okay. Now there is one more option, that is rotate. Suppose I want to rotate this one. the rectangle whatever I'm drawing. Okay, so it should be suppose 10 degree, 15 degree, suppose I'm saying that 20 degree. Press 20 degree, press enter. Yes, now you see we have a rectangle, and the angle of this rectangle is 20 degree. Now we want to define the dimension. Again right click, dimension, suppose 200 and 100. So length is 200 and width is 100. But one thing always we have to mug up or remember, or we can say that keep it in our mind, whenever we define some rotation angle in rectangle, and after that whenever you will use this command, so by default it will maintain this angle. If you want to remove this angle, so again right click, rotation, you put 0 degree here. Yes, now we are able to draw a rectangle in a proper way. Okay, so this is the use of rectangle. Next option is fillet. If you will use from toolbar, we have only one option, that is 3 point, first point, second point, third point. So personally I want to suggest you, whenever you will learn or watch this video, this is very useful video. You don't need to go anywhere. You can learn each and everything. I am describing each and every tools of AutoCAD software in a sequence way. I had started from the previous video, the first video, then second video, then first, third video, then fourth video, and continuously I am going in a sequence. So you just follow this training session, whatever I am giving. Definitely I am saying that you will learn very well. Just follow this video. Okay, now if you have to know about the types of arc, so that we should use from here, from drop down menu, you see that we have option arc. Here we have types of arc. Okay, we have many types of arc. Suppose I'm using this one. First one we had done. Second option is start, center, angle. Click here. So this is, suppose this one is start, this one is center. Now what was this? Is end. Start, center, end. So this is arc. Okay, suppose we want this arc in downward direction, so change just the direction. Again go to again select arc, start, center, end. Suppose this time I'm selecting here start, center, this is end. So this is how to use arc. Next option we have for arc command is this one, start, center, angle. So this is, I'm starting from here, start, suppose this is center. Now how much angle we want? I'm saying that it should be 45. You see 45. Let's see, is this 45 degree or not? Just go to dimension, there is option for angular, select this one and this one. Now we can see, now we see that the dimension is not visible. That means we have to increase the size of or height of text. How to increase the height of text? For this we have to write some command. You can see from here, this is very important tool. You must remember this one. Many times such types of problems are occurring with a student. Okay, so when such types of problem will come with you, how to sort out? Just type dim scale. Okay, you can see here dim scale, DIMSCALE. Press enter. Now we can see that enter new value for dim scale. How many times we want to increase the height? I'm saying that it should be 30 times. Enter. Now select dimension, there is option update. Select this dimension, press enter button. Now we can see that this dimension is quite visible. Okay, Still we have to increase this text height. So again we select dim scale, dimscale. Okay, how many time we want to? Suppose 100 time I'm increasing. Select dimension, there is option update. Select this one, press enter. You see how much? 45 degrees. So this is how to increase the height of the specific text or for a specific dimension. Okay, so next options of arc is, suppose I am going to remove this one. Okay, extract this one from here to here. Now we use the next option, this is start center length. Click here. Suppose this one is start point and somewhere here should be the center, and how much length we see that. As we increase, as we move the cursor in this direction, so arc is forming, and as I'm going to the home position, the base point of the arc, there is no arc formation. So we see we are using start, center and length. With the help of the start, center, length, we can specify first point, center point, and as much as you will increase the length, so that much arc formation will occur. So this is use start, center and length. Now next option is start and angle. So suppose this one is start, this one is end. Now we see that here there is no angle, 0 degrees. As we press 90, as we move this cursor cross here we have 90 degrees, so that arc formation is that much. Suppose I am taking this one as 180, so we have semicircle. 270, here we have, you see, yes, but as we complete 360 it will terminate. So all of us very well know that the arc is that which is less than 360 degree, and which one will complete 360 degree, that is called circle. So this is arc. Next option is start and end direction. So suppose this is start, this one is end. As we move upward direction, we have upward circle, arc. Downward direction, the formation is in downward. So this is how to use the option, that is start and end direction. Next option is start and radius. Suppose this is start and how much radius? Okay, so suppose I'm saying that radius should be approximately, suppose I'm taking, because we don't know the length of this one. Okay, so before this dimension, that we don't know the dimension of this one, we cannot specify. So that suppose I am taking 200, you see there is no arc, it has terminated. Before this one we have to know the dimension of this one. How to see dimension? Quick dimension, select this one, right click, yes, you see the dimension is not visible. For this we have to zoom, then only we can see. So how to increase the size of the text? We have to press one command, that is dim scale, dimscale. Press enter button. How many times we want to increase the height of text? I'm saying that it should be 10 times. Yes. Now we have to update this one. Go to dimension, there is option update. Yes, it has increased, but you see that still this one is not visible. Again we will type dim scale. How many times? Suppose I am saying that 30 times I want to increase the height of this text. Yes. So this is, now I'm using arc start and radius. So this is start, this is end. How much? Suppose I am taking radius as 300. You see, we have arc. So okay students, so I hope that no one need to know about all this, because you can do by your own self. Okay, as we had done till these options, so you do this one by yourself, but after that you will get any problem, you must comment me. We will discuss about this one also in the coming videos. Next option is circle. In circle we have option that is center radius and center diameter. So what, whenever we use circle, shortcut key of circle is C, enter. Now I want to start from here, somewhere here. Yes, by default always it will ask radius. You see that, specify radius of circle. I'm saying that radius should be 100. Yes, but suppose I want to define diameter, so that again we select C, we press C, enter. Now specifying the center. What do you want? I want to use diameter, not radius, because by default it's asking radius. For this, press right click, there is option for diameter. What should be the diameter? I'm saying that diameter should be 200. Yes, it has overlapped with this one. Why? Because radius of that this circle was how much? It was approximately, I think it was 50. So diameter will be 100, and here I had used diameter as 100. So let's see the diameter or radius of this one. Diameter and radius. Suppose select first dimension. Here is the option radius. Select here. We have two circles. Okay. So as you see, we have radius how much? 100. That means, sorry, I had taken diameter as 200. Okay. So that if radius is 100, so diameter will be 200. Okay. So this is how to use radius and diameter. Next option is 2-point circle. Go to draw, there is option 2 point. Suppose I don't know the dimension of this line, so how I will specify diameter and radius of circle? So that we use 2 points. Suppose select first point and here somewhere here second point. So this is how to use circle. Next option is 3 point. I want to enclose this circle, this rectangle, with the help of circle. So what we do? We select 3 points. So suppose first point is here, second point is somewhere here, and third point is here. Okay. We see that some part of this one is still outside of this circumference, because we had used a rectangle on that we had defined fillet radius. So that's why some parts of this rectangle has outside of this circle. Next option we have, that is 10-10 radius. Suppose I want to draw a circle, and that circle should maintain tangency of two entities. I'm saying that first tangency should be from here, second tangency should be from here. Now what should be the radius? I'm saying that the radius should be 50, or suppose 30. You see, we have a circle which one is maintaining tangency of this line and this circle. You see, this circumference is not going to intersect This is how to use 10-10 radius. We have next option, that is 10-10-10. Tangent, tangent, tangent. Select here, draw circle. We have option 10-10-10. So first tangent is this, second tangent is this, and third tangent should be this. We can see this circle is maintaining 3 tangency of this circle, first tangency of this circle, second tangency of this circle, and third tangency of this line. This is how to use circle. Next option we have, that is revision cloud. A revision cloud generally we use for specify a specific position or some important text, as well as when we have to give some cloud effect on plan, elevation, or whatever, that time we use. Click here, take this point to see. This is a revision cloud. We can give some text here, as well as we specify some arrow. Suppose I want to give some text here, so that draw text, single line text. I am saying that it should be start from here, and then height of this one should be 15. Rotation angle 0. Suppose I am saying that this is students. Okay, so when we give some such types of effect, text effect, with the help of revision cloud, so there is some special attraction comes to the next person who is working according to the drawing. So this is the use of revision cloud, and that's why we are using this option, that is revision cloud. We have next option, this is spline. Generally in AutoCAD software we have only two types of spline, that is feed point or control vertex. Feed point, here we see okay, select here. So this is called feed point because the manipulator vertex, these are called manipulator, as well as we can say that interpolator. So manipulator or interpolator, these are along these path. You see, we can control this one from here. Okay, like this we can control this one. Suppose I want to use control vertex spline, so that we use this one. We have the next option here. When we draw, suppose, okay, select here and then select here in this arrow, we have control vertex. So what we did, we convert this one feed point to control vertex. Now we will control this curve with the help of this vertex. You see, like this. So this is the use of feed point and control vertex. Yes, this is feed point. Along this path these manipulators are forming, and now in this one we can manipulate this one with the help of this control vertex. So this is how to use a spline. We have next option, that is ellipse. Ellipse is the combination of major dia as well as minor dia. How to use? Click here. We just pick the point. Now I'm going to check this command ortho. What should be the maximum diameter dia? I'm saying that it should be maximum, and this one should be minimum. So we can say that this is major radius or major dia, this is major dia, and this one is minor dia, or we can say that major radius as well as this one is minor radius. So this is how to use ellipse. We have some more types of ellipse, and this one we see. We have next option, that is elliptical arc. So ellipse arc is what we see, means we have to define some major dia as well as minor dia, and after that we will give some a specific angle. Okay, so first we define this one. Okay, and I'm saying that 500 should be major and minor should be 250. Yes, 1 minute. Yes, means we'll use this command, that is ellipse arc. How to use? We can use from here as well as we have the option from pull down menu. We see that we have ellipse, here we have arc, elliptical arc. So we'll click here. First we specify this point. Now this one is the major dia, this one is minor dia. Now we see that we have option in command bar, specify start angle. So I'm going to start from here. Now end angle, how much? 90 degree, 180, 270, whatever you want. So I'm saying that it should be 180. So this is elliptical arc. Next we have option, that is block. Block is very important tool. Generally the use of block is what? To make a specific group of number of entities. Suppose I want to make a block of these entities. What we do? We just click here. There is option for block. Here we have option, that is make. Yes. First we have to specify name. I'm saying that name of this one should be 1. Here we have position. So I'm going to click here, saying that this should be the position. Yes. Now select objects. So these are the objects. Which one should be under this block? Yes. And okay. Now I'm selecting here. So we see that how many grips we have? Only one grip, because we had converted this one into single block. Now I'm selecting, suppose this elliptical arc, we have that much grip. According to that grip we can control. See, you can control, but here only we can move, we cannot make change in this one. So this is the use of block. Generally we use this one and save the profile, and after that whenever we require such any, means whatever profile you want, so that profile again you can use n number of times. Okay, suppose I have delete this one. Okay, I have deleted. Now again I want to bring the same whatever we had used from block. How to bring that one? Again we select, we have option from pull down menu, that is insert. Here we have block. This block whatever we had used, I'm using. Now again we have to use this one. So we'll just click here. Where you want to keep? I want to keep here. Yes. As we specify the position, you see this one is asking a scale factor. So enter x scale factor. How much? So x scale factor is, suppose it should be 2 times. Enter. What should be the y scale factor? I'm saying that it should be 0.5. Means 1:2 ratio. Yes. How much rotation angle should be for this one? You can see. I'm saying that it should be 90 degree or 45. 45. You see. What happened? It has completely deformed. If you want to see the original component of the block, again select here block. Yes. Now I'm going to uncheck this one because I don't want to change the scaling factor along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. I'm going to uncheck this one also, and okay, we see this is the original one, and this one, which one has been modified. So this is the use of block. With the help of block we can manipulate. Okay, next option we have table. Table generally we use for specify the bill of material of any project. Suppose I want to make some drawing, or I want to drafting a single cylinder engine. So we know that in single cylinder engine we have numbers of components like crankshaft, connecting rod, camshaft, rocker arm, flywheel, uh, tappet cover, so like that. So when we have to give some quantities, that how many quantities are required, how many nuts are required, how many bolts are required, what should be the heat treatment for that specific material. So when we need to do all these things with a small documentation in AutoCAD, so that we use this table. As we click this one, we see that we have numbers of columns and number of rows. How many columns, how many row we want. See that we have 4 columns. I'm saying that it should be 5. We have 7 rows. I'm saying that it should be 4. And now we can manipulate this one where you want. Suppose in the front, the top of this one, there generally we use title box. So suppose I want to change this one, so you can change. Okay, like this. Suppose if you want to place this one, so as you want you can place this one. Suppose I want to place this one here somewhere. You want to give some text, so that also you can do that. I'm saying that it is bill of material. Okay, if you want to give some text in this cell, double click, you can type here shaft. Suppose crank, suppose flywheel, like that. Civil engineer, what they will do? Suppose they have plan. On that plan they have to show the size of window, size of door, size of ventilation. On that case we can use that one. How to use? Suppose I want to use, double click. Okay, suppose here should be window 1, so generally we use W1. Okay, first one is W, second one should be W1. Okay, there are 3 types of window, W2. Next one should be door, D1 or D first, then D1. Now we'll specify the dimension, length, width, and how many number of quantity we want. Okay, and some more specification we can adjust from this column. We can specify in this column. So for this we have to remove this one first. Okay, now we will specify from here. Okay, length, width, number of quantity. Okay, so all these things. So this is the use of table. We have next option, that is point. Generally we use point to specify the position of any element. I'm taking single point, pick point. You see that this point is not visible. As we select this one, so that now we have only a grid. With the help of the grip we can see. Suppose we want to change the format of this one. Go to format, there is option point style. I'm selecting this one. See, now draw, there is option for point. Click here. Now we have point. So this is single point. Whenever we use this point command, the one point will use in the graphical window and automatically exit from this one. Suppose I'm using next option, that is multi-point, multiple points. So we see that we have n numbers of points. We can use n number of points. Right click, there is no point. The point formation is not going on. As we press left click, it will add more points. To exit from this point command, we have to press escape button. Yes. Now next option we have in point, that is divide. Suppose I'm going to draw a line. The length of this line is 20. Now we have to adjust 10 number of points or 15 numbers of points in this line. So we use draw points divide. First select object to divide. So this is the object. Now enter number of segments, how many numbers of points we want. I'm saying that it should be 20. See, so we can see that 20 numbers of points we have. It has adjusted in this line, it has divided. Okay, next option we have, you can see measure. First select this one. Suppose this is the first point and the distance from here to here should be 5. So it sorry, we have to change this one. Okay, select this one first, point, measure, select this one first. This is the first point. Okay, and now I'm saying that second point somewhere should be somewhere here. Okay, and I'm saying that it should be, suppose 3. Enter. Let me see, is the length of this one is 3. Go to dimension and you can see 3. Yes, that means we are right. So this is how to use measure. So this is about point. Now next option is hatch. Hatch is very important tool in AutoCAD or whatever we use manual process. So generally hatch, where we will use hatch generally used where there is a cross sectional. Suppose we have a component and we want to divide that component and we want to slice that component, and then after we have to see, so that we use hatch. Suppose I have a rectangle. I'm saying that here there is no material, but in these portions we have material. So what is it is whatever I'm giving to you, the statement, that is enough? No, we need to give some symbol so that other person can understand. May my voice someone heard or not, that is the different thing, but if you will give some sign or give some symbols so that anybody can see and he will understand easily that here is the portion where is material and these are the portion where there is no hatch, that means there is no material. So they can assume properly. So let's use draw hatch. We see that we have hatch. Generally hatch formation is 45 degrees. We can see, we can change the pattern from here. You can see these are the pattern, which types of patterns you want. I'm saying that such types of pattern is required. Suppose generally we use this one, okay, but if there is concrete, so I will select this one. We see that this is the concrete. Now we can see that such types of problems always occurs with students, so that students please pay attention about this one. When such types of uh, a scaling problem will occurs with you, so that we have to remember that either we have to increase or decrease the scaling factor. We have one, we have the density is very low, we have to increase the density, so that we will decrease this one, suppose 0.25, enter. Now we see, now that is sufficient, press enter. So this is how to use hatch. Now next option we have gradient. So with the help of gradient we can show the color contour, as well as we can give the some color effect on the drawing. So that we have two options here, we have two color, blue and yellow. As we click here, we have numbers of options, which color you want. I'm selecting this one, and here which color you want, I'm selecting this one. So we see that with the combination of these both colors we have, okay, which one you want. You can see that these are the different types of pattern of the combination of a specific color. Select here, yes, press enter. This is gradient. Next option is boundary. Where we use boundary, suppose we see we have a rectangle. I'm going to explode this one. For explode, modify, there is option explode. Select this one, press enter button. Now we can see we have individual lines. Okay. Now I want to convert this one into single line or single entities. So that we will select draw. There is option for boundary. Now we can see we have option, that is pick point. Where? In this inside. Click here and press enter. Now I'm selecting. We see once we select this one, so we see that the properties is polyline. Okay, because it has converted into polyline. Now I'm going to move this one. Yes. What do we see? We saw that we have this one is polyline, but the original one, whatever we had, still we have. You see, that means a layer comes on the boundary of these entities, so that's why we will call it as boundary. Okay, you see that these are still we have individual entities, but the next one, which one has generated with the help of boundary command, we have, that is polyline. We see the properties of this one, polyline. So this is boundary command. Next option is region. Boundary and region both are quite similar, but there is some basic difference. Suppose I have such types of profile. Okay, close. Now I'm using region. Select these, press enter. We see now this one is region. Okay, means it is also converted into single entities, but as we used boundary, it just generate a layer on the boundary of the drawing. So this is basic difference between boundary and region. Now I'm going to move this one. So see. So there is no any copy of the existing entities. So this is about reason. Next option we have wipe out. Wipe out where we use, suppose I have some project, suppose somewhere here or inside of this border we have project and I want to hide this project, I don't want to show. So that on that case we use wipe out. We just draw a boundary, press enter, we see now there is no any project or whatever we had drawn that is visible. But as we select this one and delete, you see whatever we have. Okay, and last tool of draw toolbar is text. Here we have two options, multi-line text and single line text. For multi-line text we have to specify 2 points, first point and second corner. Now we can write some text. Here we can manipulate what should be the height of text. Okay, what types of font you want to change, you can select from here. If you want to specify some color on text, so you can select from here also. Okay, and this is, I can say that this is complete format of MS Word. So I hope all of you are familiar about these options. Okay, so don't need to describe about these options. Okay, let's suppose I wanna give some text. Okay, I want to write some text. So like this you can specify some text in multi-line text option. Now press, if you want to exit from here, so just escape button, press escape button. Okay, so such type of option will come to you. You want to save your text or change, so if you want to save this one, so you say yes. Okay, so this is multi-line text. Or there was also an option for complete this multi-line text format, check. Okay, so as we will close that one, so automatic we would exit from the multi-line text command. Now one more option under text, that is single line text. Here suppose I wanna give some text on a specific drawing, so that first we have to specify the base point. Yes, now what should be height of text? I'm saying that it should be 12, enter. Now what should be the rotation angle? So I'm saying that rotation angle should be 90 degree or suppose 0 degree. Okay, if you want to write horizontal text, so select 0. If you want to give some text in vertical direction, so you have to put here 90 degree. So I had taken 0 degree. Now okay, now if you want to exit from this single line text, so just double click and enter button. Yes, so this is how to use multi-line text and single line text. So I hope students you completely understand about this draw toolbar. I had tried to give the basic and very simple explanation about this draw toolbar, but in spite of that someone is there who is not getting understand some tools in a proper way. So please comment me, I will try to give better whatever I have given. Thank you.